So, a bit of stats. 85% of all brand purchases are made by women. And it's not only about buying things, it's also about making decisions about holidays, going abroad, where your kids will go to school, anything. Most of the decisions are made by women. But women feel like they're not understood by advertisers at all. 91% of them said that they feel like they're not understood by them. So, and I think that is coming from the, I don't want to be sexist at all, but most of the creative directors and art directors and designers are men. So I really hope that at some point there will be at least 50-50, so there will be more women in our design industry. I had a very funny experience myself because the advertising agency where I worked before, there were only 2 women art directors, and most of the brands we worked with were very specifically for women. One of them was OB, and the art director that worked on them was man, who had no clue what they are for, how to use them, and how to advertise them at all. So every time the new Cosmopolitan came to his desk with a bit of samples, he was like so scared and his face was so sad every single day.
What was the product?
Tampax.
Oh, okay, right.
So yeah, it's we can say that the men are as good. He was a brilliant art director and he was a very nice guy, but there are things that unfortunately are different for men and women, and we have to do with them. So, to understand women, let's go back to the Stone Age. Yeah. So when humans lived in caves, women were picking berries and mushrooms and plants, and men were hunting. That is why women had peripheral vision, which allowed them to see larger picture, larger area, and pick more mushrooms or plants or whatever they were doing. And men, as they were hunting, they had to develop tunnel vision, because they needed to focus on the prey they were following and not to be distracted by anything else. So that is why women are more attentive to details, they like small cute things, and men are better drivers because they're focused on what is the world. But also that affects advertising and everything women like and don't like, because we like things with lots of details, we like a complex picture, and men prefer just a simple, bold visual. So this is an example of adverts for men, and it kind of shows that the products is the main part of it, and there are not so many details you can really look at. And it works. We always are misunderstood by men and by advertisers because everyone knows that every woman wants to feel special. That's what they really want. We want to feel like we are the only one, that we are loved, we are appreciated.
It's in the instruction manual, I think.
We were raised like that. We read all the stories about Cinderella, about a very special girl, about Snow White or anyone else, and she was also the one, she was also always very special, and that's what we really want. The problem is, advertisers always take it too literally, and they think like, oh, fairy tale, let's do fairy tale, and they show us something very disgusting and very sweet and too sweet, and we don't like it at all. This is a good example of an advert where fairy tale was interpreted in quite a good ways. Christina Louboutin, fairy trees, and yeah, they look nice. Also, the thing is, the stereotype of typical woman that looks after kids and just goes to school with them and takes them back is not real anymore. Like most of women do lots of different things, and they have many different interests. And if you try to advertise them a pink cute car, they will look at you like idiot, because they prefer serious cars, they prefer expensive suits. They're exactly like men, basically. What also women like, they like friends and like to talk. So even though who completely deny it, still like to chat with their friends and to share information with their friends and talk about different things. That's why, if you remember, all the old Barbie adverts had always two girls playing together. There wasn't one lonely girl playing on her own. There were always two discussing how wonderful their Barbies are and what they can do with them. That is why, if you want to make a positive impression about your brand or anything, you should always show that connection between two women who are enjoying the process of talking about it or about doing something with it. There were also lots of examples where they were trying to create a special product for women. Like this is vodka for women. It's Russian called Lady vodka. And it wasn't successful at all because women don't like to feel like they're different and they don't want to be separated to a specific group and to be targeted specifically. So this was a complete failure, and I don't think it still exists. There was also a case when they designed special tools, like any kind of tools for women's hand, and no one bought them because when a woman takes something heavy like that, she wants to feel like she's doing something big, not something small and cute. So that's why targeting women, obviously, and creating a specific product for them is not a good idea. But on the same, the other part of this story is that sometimes advertisers learn from their mistakes. So the next example is Yorkie. If you remember, does anyone remember the old version of it? Click. You'll see.
Oh, Yorkie.
It's clickable.
That one?
Yeah.
Oh, it's clickable.
Yorkie and me rolling on. Cause a long head run can be short on fun. Without Yorkie, help me along. Good rich and slick, a little chocolate brick. Each bite a chunky big mouthful. Yorkie's the shape that real milk chocolate ought to be. So when I spill that big old mill, there's plenty more in store for me from that chunky bar of mine.
Ground piece Yorkie, chunky milk chocolate, or peanuts in milk chocolate.
Obviously, what they were trying to do here is to target this type of chocolate for men and creating a specific chocolate for men. After that, those people who were buying that chocolate were women because they wanted to feel like they're really brutal and they're not any less things than men. Anyway, the next one is the Yorkie 2002, which finally, when they realized that they need to target women, they just changed it.
Yorkie, please, mate.
You're not a bird, are you?
No.
Explain the offside rule then.
A player cannot be in an advanced position of the opponent's last defender when the ball is played.
Open that. Stockings are tight.
Stockings.
Oh look! A big hairy spider! You know, that wrapper really brings out the beautiful blue of your eyes.
Really?
Yorkie, provided big masculine chance of chocolate. It's not for girls.
So it's quite obvious that this one is targeting women, even though it shows like it is not. So the funny story is that in Russia, we have the same chocolate. It's called differently, and it's also only for women. And as I know from my friends, only people who buy it are women. That's okay. the other strange thing about women is we buy because we like, not because it's practical, it's useful, we can do something with it. No, because we just think it's nice. And there was an experiment where women were asked before they entered the shop what they're going to buy, what they're going for, and then after they came out of it, and 70% of women didn't buy anything of the list they had and bought something completely different. That's how our brain works. Like, we can make spontaneous decisions based on something we see now. That's why for women it's better to do advertising on the place, like POS or anything, better than outdoors, because we can easily get influenced by something we see right now rather than something we saw a week ago. The other thing is that we like to share information with friends. So if you want to create any campaign, you should always know that if one woman likes it, she will tell all of her friends that that is amazing and that everyone needs to try it. And that's the good thing about women sharing things between them. Next one I want to finish with is that every woman likes to every woman wants to feel something. All our imagination is based on feelings. You can't explain logically why things are good or bad to us, but we always feel when it's right or not. And if you base any piece of advertising or design on that, it will be successful. This is the most favorite example of beer for women. And it's in Russian, but you don't need to understand what's said there. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, sure.
Сила в твоем желании. Сладость.
Beer gets you pregnant.
Yeah, it was very successful.